Welcome, everyone. I'm Greg Schnell, and I'm here to host the Market Buzz. This show looks at weekly setups across the U.S. market. Using the tools available on stock charts, we'll be looking for long time frame trades. Please subscribe to my articles and Twitter feed, and you can also enter comments on the chat room for me to answer at a later date. So feel free to kind of participate a little bit more in the show and let me know other things you'd like me to look into. Okay, so the main problem with the bull market is it's uphill all the way, but the good news is we're starting to break out worldwide. A lot of things that were stuck at their 40-week moving average or 200-day or 10-month are all starting to break out. So getting more and more optimistic, and there's some new groups starting to break out. As an example, media is one group that's breaking out. Did want to let you know that there is no Market Buzz on Friday. And again, the world is moving higher, so that backdrop is bullish. Lots of good stuff going on in terms of breadth. So I'm really enjoying that. That is a big bullish piece for me. And the brokers and asset managers look like a buy here. I do want to spend some time on 5G today. We had the announcement from Qualcomm and Apple, and that was a pretty important announcement, I think. But anyway, we're going to jump in and look in the 5G area and just how to get a chart list set up and then start to control that chart list. And some of the areas that are really surprising, biotech seems to be rolling down, actually not up, but healthcare, pharma, and retail are all starting to look weaker. I don't know that we'll get into discussing all of those because we're going to spend a bit of time on the 5G and the brokers, but I think it's an important area to just recognize that maybe if it's the defensive area and people are moving out of that healthcare area, I'm also seeing some REITs that are starting to roll over. So perhaps things are just getting much more broadly bullish, and we need to pay attention to that. Okay, so first of all, here's Apple after the announcement. No big deal. Unfortunately for our good friends at Qualcomm, or fortunately for our good friends at Qualcomm, it was a little different. That's the news for Qualcomm after the announcement. So all of a sudden they're at new 3- and 4-year highs. That's just crazy good. Might even be new all-time highs. Let's just unwind that a little bit more and take a look. So yeah, we're definitely blowing through the top, and so all of the resistance is now gone on that chart, and things are soaring. So that is truly a nice breakout on Qualcomm. And again, all of the technologies they have in their chips are leading towards 5G. So what I want to talk about a little bit is how to make a 5G list. And what I did was I literally just Googled, top 5G stocks and started to build a list. And so from that, I came up with whatever 25 or 35 names here. No, not a huge list, but it's a list to start working with. And then as time goes on, we could add to them. But more importantly is, if we look intraday and just sort based on the change for intraday, all of a sudden Qualcomm is at the top. And if we go down to the bottom here, we got Sprint, T-Mobile, Skyworks. These are good companies, don't get me wrong. They're still moving up, but today they're a little bit weak. Now, again, going back to this summary look, just looking through here, the networks aren't kind of the big players here, but a lot of the other companies are hidden in here. And so we're going to go look at that. And I don't know why these two didn't populate, but perhaps I typed in their ticker symbols wrong. So anyway, one of the things we can do obviously is sort by, biggest gains of the week or whatever, and that's going to show us, probably a better listing than just one day. And then the second thing is to use the scooter ranking and use that to help guide us as to the strongest stocks in the list. So if we wanted to click on scooter ranking and then put these stocks, put it in this order so that we can go look at them. And again, the way you would generate this list is you would type new list and you would make whatever 5G, just to pick a name on your list. And I'm going to use 001 or something, so it's at the top. But here's my 5G list and create that, right? And then you're going to go in. So not to make it too difficult, but here you're going to say many, and then you're just going to type in whatever, Apple, Amazon, Google, and you need commas between them. So Apple, Amazon, Google. But that's how to quickly make a list and just type them in. So look them up on one screen and paste them in on the other, or look them up on your iPad and put them on your computer, whatever you want to do. But it's getting that list generated that's important. So in this particular case, I'm just going to go down and I'm going to grab the list I've already created, and we want to start working with that list. So I always put my industry lists together in groups. And so here I made one called 5G. And again, it's a investment theme, and so you can set them up as industries or you can set them up as investment themes, whichever way you'd like. I'm going to go with the 5G. And what you see here is when we're in the edit mode, you can't do anything with it. So you need to go to summary mode. And in summary mode, you get the scooter ranking or volume or whatever you want to sort on. And so what I would like to sort on is volume, scooter mode. And now see how there's no numbers in front of the charts over here. What I want to go to is down at the bottom, hit number in sorted order. And that's going to put the strongest stocks first because we've sorted on scooter ranking. And now I want to go look at them in 10 per page. Okay, if the stock came up in a chart style that you don't like, let's say your old chart style, so I'm just going to click on this. So let's say it came up on my default daily. Well, that's okay, but I want to look at charts that are on the weekly. So in order to do that, what you would do is you would go select your weekly chart style either from here or down in the bottom here. Let's just, as an example, I could go pick, here's CHIPS long-term chart, and I could use that chart style. But I would prefer to use one that I use regularly, and this one's my 5-year weekly chart style. I have a scooter ranking, the relative strength, the full stochastic, the actual chart volume and PPO on here. And you can see, Xilinx looks pretty promising here. It doesn't looks like a nice chart. Now what you do is you scroll down to the very bottom, and we're going to apply the style to all. And so it's going to take all of the charts in this chart list and it's going to make them all 5-year charts. So now we can quickly look through them. And again, click on view all, and it's going to default to 10 per page. We could also look at it in summary order, and I'm only going to do that just to show you. So we're going to look at them based on scooter ranking. And then if there is no scooter ranking, it'll use volume, and there's only one company there. So anyway, from that, we're going to go in and look at them by 10 per page. And you could look at them at candle glance, easy way to do that. But the idea behind candle glance is to just get you a general shape. All of these are 5G charts, and what do you notice? They're all breaking out to new highs. They're all top of the charts, all getting going. Nothing wrong with any of these. Lots of reasons to start to look across this sector. And again, these charts are doing really, really well. And so that's the kind of area you want to play in, as something that's doing well. Now here's Crown Castle with a bit of a downtrend this week. Hewlett Packard Enterprises. And again, I just went and got a list of companies. Amazon's there because of the cloud. Microsoft's there because of the cloud. Here's Corning. So Equinix. Anyway, this one just broke out to a new high and is pulling back again. So I'm not suggesting that you buy these as they're standing up on their new highs, but probably, you get some sort of a pullback, and it would be a nice place to start to look at trying to work back into this group if you've missed it so far. And that's page one. Page two obviously would be next. But the important thing I want to share is that when we look at the charts and they're all breaking out to new highs, this is obviously going to be one of the biggest growth engines going forward, and the Qualcomm announcement makes that pretty clear. But the big thing to focus on is making sure that as these big themes come across, you're aware of the themes and how to play them. So in this case, we've put a few charts together in a list, but now let's just take a few minutes and walk through these lists or through these charts and just say, what to do. So here is Xilinx, and it's been pinned against the top for 4 or 5 months already, and it's really doing well. And I want to compare that chart just with something like, let's go to NVIDIA. And the reason is because NVIDIA literally rocked it a couple of years ago, and it went on this huge run. And now NVIDIA isn't the chip that's favored in all of this. It's it's Xilinx. So, there's nothing suggesting that Xilinx couldn't do the same thing. So if you feel like it's overbought already, probably on a big scale, it's not. So anyway, lots going on there. That chart's, it's almost been a double since it started to break out. Any sort of pullback is probably what you want to enter. PPO is nice and high. Again, it's been wandering at this low level down here, and this stock was still making higher highs through here. And then 2018 slowed down and started to break out, but now it's really cruising. So here's Qualcomm, and again, breaking out to new highs. So that's awesome. Just starting to get going here. So I think I'm trying to figure out a way into that is important, but that's probably one of the big ways to play 5G. Looking at VMware, this has been a ribbon higher. It continues to be in the top right-hand corner. Nice to look at. Here's Arista Networks, and this one's just breaking out to new 52-week highs. Just make sure it holds up there, but a stop around 300 would kind of keep you in it. Keysight Technologies, again, running really hard. If you get any sort of a pullback on these, this is probably a better place to enter rather than exit. Marvell Technologies, this one's breaking out to new 52-week highs. That's just bullish. Intel Corporation just breaking out to new 52-week highs. That's bullish, and we can see the scooter ranking here is at 97. This thing's literally just getting going, and they have lots of technology for the 5G area. Here's Cisco Systems, and it's been a ribbon straight up 40 to 57 already. That's almost a 50% increase off the lows. Aptiv Place. How did that get in here? Auto parts. Anyway, I know this was for autonomous driving, and there'll be the 5G in the cars. 5G technology is required for the autonomous driving, and so this auto parts is starting to kick it up here. So anyway, nice move already, up 50% off the lows. Here's Comcast Corporation, and this is breaking out to new 52-week highs, and that's probably just based on content. And again, I just went and pulled up some articles, and you could disagree that these stocks don't belong in this list and just delete them, do whatever you want. I put together this list very quickly just this morning and said, okay, let's go in and get some 5G charts and start to look at them on the back of this Comcast earnings and have a chart list get set up to be ready for this. So as we start to see, this is really a nice upslope. And again, they seem extended. But again, if this technology is just getting started, this could be a 2 or a 3 year run. This one's just breaking out of a 6-month base here, Ericsson. So that's nice. Sienna Corp, this one had ridden up, and a couple of weeks ago we would have said, gee, this is a great place to buy it. Well, it's dropped back down now, and probably any sort of resumption of the trend back higher is something you want to get on. Looks like the chart kind of jumps up and down a lot, but if you could get it just coming off the lows and starting to turn back up, maybe wait for a full stochastic signal on a daily chart or something like that. Alibaba, you can see this one's getting up near the prior highs, and it's been grinding sideways for 6 weeks here. But again, this one can start to make a nice move. This was 130 at the lows. It's 190 now. So pretty nice push. Microsoft, again, breaking out to new all-time highs, and that's just such an Adela ribbon there. That one is beautiful. Skyworks, this one continues to push higher. Lots going on here. And Charter Communications, same idea, pushing higher. Some of these stocks don't have the same sort of thrust. The scooter ranking's only at 66, but just keep watching them. And here's Google, obviously, with Waymo and with lots of the other technologies that they have developed. They've got their cloud computing. So like Amazon Web Services, they have theirs for that as well. And with all of these technologies, you're going to need big cloud computing centers, then what's called edge computing centers. So lots of things going on, and in neighborhoods there will be little edge computing centers being put in. So that should probably help things like industrial REITs and stuff like that. Crown Castle, this one just taken off here, pulled back in the last couple of weeks. So I don't think, this is a nice ribbon higher. So the stock gives you some sort of a pullback, and you can finally buy it and then maybe just scan for a full stochastic turning back up or something. Here's Hewlett Packard Enterprises, and it's just trying to get through to new 52-week highs, and probably if it does, that would be a nice place to enter. Going through Amazon here, the chart's just getting stretched into the top right-hand corner. You know, all their web services, when this chart starts to rock, it really starts to rock. It's above its 10-week and 40-week moving averages, pushing higher. The PPO is back above zero. I'm a little leery about when it drops below zero because the next high can be a final high, but at this point, it doesn't have to be. So back here, it was running below zero for a period of time. Once it started to break out, that was just time to get on board. So I think the same thing there for their web services division. Here is Corning Glass, and this looks like it's just about ready to pop to new all-time highs and new 52-week highs, getting above previous resistance. This Equinix Diversified REIT, this is involved in the real estate for these edge computing centers and stuff like that. So you can follow in on some of those. Here's Verizon Communications, and again, trying to break through to new all-time highs. A little bit of a negative divergence here, so I'd be careful on that. Micron Technologies, again, another semiconductor trying to push up, still below, well, just starting to get above zero on momentum here. And if this can start to pick up, that would be good. Digital Realty, same idea that this is involved in building the data centers. So testing all-time highs. And again, you know, this area is, I think it's overbought for the moment, but by far, you're looking at a big, long uptrend here, and you probably just want to find a nice entry. So the idea is get your list ready, and then as you get your pullback, make sure you're invested. And we've talked about software stocks and Chinese stocks and industrial stocks trying to break out. Same thing here. If if they look extended, give them a chance to pull back or whatever. And if they pull back, much better entry. So here's T-Mobile, and it's really still grinding sideways. I don't think I can enter that one yet, but it's trying to definitely break out to new highs. Here's Nokia. So the phone maker down, 4 months now or 3 months. So as it pulls back, getting very close to this uptrend line, so probably a place to look for support. And here's Sprint Corporation, just hovering sideways, nothing really going on there. And Dell Technologies is a really nice chart shape, basically breaking out right after the Santa Claus rally started and going, really a big move, 42 to 62. And again, they're going to play in this space, and these two charts I screwed up, so I'm just going to go in and delete them and get rid of them from my chart list. And so again, the idea being, once you find a theme or something that you want to invest in, let's just take a go looking through those charts. Lots of these charts look like they need a little bit of a pause just after 50% runs in a couple of months. But once you get that sort of that chart list set up, you can actually set an alert. And maybe we should just do that. So let's just go to the top of the list and just say for Xilinx, we want to look for a full stochastic, a weekly full stochastic turning up or a daily full stochastic turning up, and to try and find some sort of a pullback to buy it on, or Qualcomm, whichever one you want. But let's just go pick on this one for a second. And so what you would do is, we're going to look for our full stochastic to dip below 80. And then when it dips below 80 and turns up, then we want to buy it. So now we're going to go over to the dashboard. And on the dashboard, we're going to set an alert. And this is pretty easy to do. So we're going to jump in and make a new alert. And with the new alert, we want to go say Xilinx XL and X. And when Xilinx convert to advanced here. What did I do there? That button there should work. Made a mistake there. Okay, let me just go back and get this advanced alert there. So what I want to do is I want to name is equal to sorry, I'm going to go grab that here. Technical properties, I'm going to say name, add, we're going to put that one in there. And then we want to know that the technical indicator is the full stochastic. And we want to add that. And so just with those two things, we can go and say if Xilinx XLNX and the full stochastic is less than 80 weekly, and weekly full stochastic crosses, and we can go down here and get different tools. But so on here, what we're looking for is a full stochastic. Yeah, I was hoping we could get something like the signal line, full stochastic crossing. I have to think about how to code that. Let me just go grab a different scan. Sorry, I could have mapped this out a little bit better, but the point I want to make is that we can set these little tools up for ourselves, and I just have a scan that I've already got with a weekly full stochastic in it, so I'm just going to go grab that. Weekly PPO, weekly full stochastic scan. There we go. And now we want to edit that scan, and you can go in and grab from our advanced scan library. There's lots, and here we go. You can just say it's crossing above 20. So when we take this type of information, we're going to take it and just pick crossing above 60 or something like that. So it's below 80 and it's turning back up above 60. When we get that, then this will trigger a signal, and we can say run this scan if the result is greater than 0, and email it to me. And so it'll just set this up. So now we've got the alert saved, and we can just say Xilinx pullback. And so when we get those sorts of signals, the benefit to us is that we've got it running in the background, and now it'll just let us know as these stocks start to show up. So it's pretty important for us that we're ready, and the scan engine can help us do that. And so with all of these, I think there's lots of opportunity to use these trades. Now, the second component I want to go through is just the asset investment managers, because they're all starting to break out. And I've done the same thing here. I've set up the scan in the order of the scooter rankings. And as we roll through here, these are really starting to accelerate. Here's Cohen and Steers, and this one's just breaking out to new all-time highs. But look at this big, wide, relatively speaking, pretty big base here within $5 or $10, and now it's starting to really break out. Never heard of this company, but nice big push here, trying to get to new 6-month highs. Here's Ken Holdings, relatively new IPO, and really starting to accelerate. Hamilton Lane, same thing, taken off to the upside. So as we look across the group, these are all really starting to move. Here's Oak Tree Capital, and you can see a big 4-year base here, and all of a sudden accelerating. Stifle breaking above its 40-week and its 10-week, and starting to push to higher highs. PPO is just starting to move above 0. So again, we're looking for long time frame trades. Look at the scooter ranking here, just starting to go above. And as long as they keep running, we just want to stay in looking at these. So again, it's either asset managers or investment managers, and you can go in and look at the charts, but they're all really starting to turn up nicely, and we just had the Morgan Stanley numbers in the last couple of days. So with that, it gives you some areas to go look at. Now I want to talk about the other side of the fence, which is biotech. And biotech and pharma, one of the issues here is all of these healthcare stocks are starting to roll over, and look at this low momentum here. So if anything, rolling over just barely above 0 with a lot of negative, a significantly lower momentum than the prior peak. This is quite cautionary for me, and I'd really want to be careful if I own something in the healthcare space to make sure I had reasons to get out. On the pharmaceuticals area, what we see here is as the pharmaceuticals are rolling over, same issue here, we're falling below the 10-week and 40-week. Momentum is right down near zero, and this looks like it wants to break down harder. I don't know if this is because of the discussion around the political discussion around pharmaceuticals and that kind of thing, but these are under pressure and they're starting to break lower. And here's the drug retailers. These things are drilling into the bottom corner. So nothing too bullish about that. I did mention that some of the residential or some of the REITs are starting to unwind. And this one here, again, momentum hasn't really gone anywhere for the last 6 months, but big push down this week and full stochastic rolling over. It's just not an area that's looking that strong right now compared to some of the other areas that have much better chart shapes and are starting to work higher. If we go up to the actual biotechnology sector, what we see here is it's been below zero and it's not getting any momentum to the upside here. So as much as I like biotechnology, and I actually thought this was going to break out nice and high, this chart looks to me like it's dying right at the trend and starting to pull back, and it's probably a better place to avoid until we get some upward momentum rather than downward momentum. So if you, so from that, those are really the important areas, but I want to just go back here to my PowerPoint. And the point I wanted to make here is the world seems to be wanting to move higher. That's probably going to help raw materials stocks, so things like Tech Resources and BHP and FCX and all of those kind of companies should start to look better. But again, these other stocks down here, it looks like a place to walk away from. We covered off the 5G and the brokers. I didn't get into the media today, but those charts are starting to break out to new highs as well. And so there's lots in there. And I think through the stock charts tools, you'll be able to navigate in there. But hopefully, real quickly, just showing you how to set a couple of quick alerts. And again, grab your whatever indicator you want to use. The scan workbench, you can go in here and pick different scans to set up and create them as advanced scans rather than, so you can do them as scans or you can do them as alerts, and roughly the same sort of format applies. So I would encourage you to try and make sure you're using the scan engine, because it'll help you if you find a stock you like. You don't have to sit there and go check the chart every day. You can just set it up so you get some sort of a pullback, and then it gives you a clue that you at least want to follow it. And again, maybe for a stock, maybe it's just falling out of 80 and any sort of brief dip you want to get back in. All of those are just up to you on how you want to set those up. But I think the important thing is making sure that you're using the tools that are out there to try and help find this. I do get the feeling there's just so much breadth out there that if we get any sort of a pullback, and I realize the market's been weaker in the last couple of days, just struggling to make higher highs as we get into earnings, this pullback might be a better time to make a buy. Thanks for taking the time to join me on MarketBuzz. MarketBuzz airs live on Wednesdays and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific on Stock Charts TV. You can also catch replays on your Stock Charts YouTube channel or on the Stock Charts TV, which has a running list of technical charting informational shows. Thank you. Bye-bye. Here's how to add a moving average for the volume on your charts. You can't use this volume component here, so go down under indicators, select volume from the drop-down menu, and then put the period that you'd like on it, and you can specify the color of the moving average line, click update, and that will give you this nice little line on here so you can see if it's above or below average volume.